Afternoon. Well, a few weeks ago I did a what's in my bag for the gear I carry when I travel with work, when I use the LowPro Fast Pack. And at the time I said I probably should do one for the gear I use when I'm walking. So this is a good opportunity to do that. Basically this is it, and obviously the GoPro that's sat on that tripod. So I'm using a LowPro Photo Sport 300. This is the second version. I did have the original version at one time. My son now uses that, and I'm using this one. But I'll be honest though, as my photography has developed and I'm carrying more and more gear, I'm actually now beginning to think that this is no longer big enough for the job. I've got a bit of a saying: you're either walking to take photographs or you're taking photographs for your walking. Now I think this is a perfect bag for the latter, which is you're taking photographs because you're out walking. When you get to the stage where you're walking to take photographs, I'm beginning to think this isn't big enough now to carry the camera, the lenses, your filters, the drones, the vlogging camera, the tripod. It's just not up to scratch at present. But anyway, that's by the by. So let's start with the side pockets. So what have we got here? We've got the Fujinon XF18-55. I don't use it that often when I'm out on landscape, but it does occasionally get used, so I like to leave it in there. The XF70-200, another really nice lens. You notice I've still got the sort of the pouches that they came in on them as well. I like to just that little extra protection to the lens when it's pushed in and out of the bag. We've got the X-T2 with the XF10-24 on it, and the L bracket on it all the time. The only downside of the L bracket on it all the time, I have to leave the door open for the quick remote, but that's not the end of the world. So that goes in there with the lenses. And then I've got my wireless remote as well. This is nothing fancy, just a straightforward, generic, cheap wireless remote. It does the job. Simple. Less to go wrong. So that's the camera gear in the side there. The main pocket then, I've got my SD cards in a separate pouch. They fit in here nicely in there. Lightweight fleece, waterproof jacket, and my Formatt Hitech filters. I carry the adapter ring for the 55-200, the adapter ring for the 10-24, and then I've got 0.9 and a 0.6 hard edge, 0.9 and a 0.6 soft edge, and then I've got 0.6, 0.9 and a 1.2 ND. So fits in the top. Now this is where I'm getting to the stage where I've outgrown this bag, because at one time I wouldn't be carrying all this kit and I had room for the lunch and the water bottles and all the other stuff in here. Well, to be honest, this bag is pretty much full with what you've just seen going into it. So you know, it's still doing the job. So the next thing in is the drone. I use a DJi Spark with the extra batteries, etc. So that'll drop again. This is where this bag's been outgrown. It drops in the outside, so if it rains, it's not a massive amount of protection for it. The protection comes from the cover of this backpack, and that's it. You know. So that's pretty much the gear internally. Top pocket, we have the cloth for cleaning my lenses, Peak Design camera strap, my cleaning gear, lens brush, etc. That all just sits in the top. What I haven't unpacked is out of the straps. There's two nice pockets in these straps. The power bank for charging various bits and pieces. That said, I don't actually carry the chargers, but it's good for charging the phone. And then in this side we've got two Fuji batteries, and 3 spare GoPro batteries. The one nice thing about this one is it's got a built-in camel back, but again, as the bag's filled out, I'm loath to fill it completely full these days. It used to take 3 litres, but I'm always wary of it sort of bursting. So, but the bag does the job. Normally, at the moment, a GoPro sat on it. My Rollei carbon fibre tripod, which I'll show you in a minute, sits in there. That's all that's missing. My vlogging camera sits on the Joby Gorilla Pod, which is the 5K one, which will suit a DSLR, but I'm only using a GoPro. This has a Rollei Fotorpro bull head on top, and if I just swap to my phone a minute, we can show you briefly. This is then my vlogging setup, which is the GoPro Hero 5 Black and the Rode Video Micro. I actually made the mount myself from a few bits from AliExpress in China. I couldn't find anything on the market that suited my needs, so I built my own. So that's pretty much the setup for what's in my bag for when I'm out walking. But like I said, I think this started as suiting my needs when I was taking photos because I was out walking. Now I'm actually walking to take photographs. I honestly think when I go back to Abu Dhabi this time, this will be getting sort of hung on the shelf really, or maybe pass it on to my son because I think his is on his last legs. And I'll be using the LowPro Whistler, which I have as well. I nearly brought that home this time, but I really wished I had now. It's very suited to a full-size DSLR, but the Fuji X-T2 seems lost in it. But that said, it leaves a lot more room for other stuff then as well, so we'll see. Anyway, if you liked it, give me the thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll do some more of this as well. See you soon.